Hey guys, it's your girl Keri, and today I will be finally sharing my personal hygiene period tips. This video is very detailed, and I've tried to make it relevant to a wide array of age groups. If you are a parent watching this video and think it may be too advanced for your little one, then by all means watch it and then explain the parts that you feel are appropriate. Also, if you're a parent and you have not talked to your daughter openly about the female body parts and puberty and things like that, and you think it may be awkward for her to sit and watch a video and see examples of the female genitalia and things like that, it may be helpful if you and your daughter watched the video separately and then got together and discussed it. Again, you know that I am going to tell it like it is, show it like it is, and this is something that they don't teach you in the classroom, so let's get started. So here is a picture of the female genitalia from the viewpoint if you were laying on your back and you had your legs open. So let's go through what makes up the parts of our female anatomy. So down here you have your mons pubis, and that's just basically the area where, you know, the hair grows, like the top part. And then right here is the clitoris, and above the clitoris you see this little bit of skin. It's kind of like a foreskin, and it covers over the clitoris, and it's kind of, you know, like a clitoral hood, if you will. And as we move on down, we will see the urethral opening, and basically what the urethral opening is your pee hole. So you do have two holes. You know, when you have your period, it does not all come out of the same hole, for those that did not know. So you have a very tiny pee hole. You can't mistake this and you know, find the wrong hole to put the tampon in or anything like that. This is very small. Then you have your inner and outer lips. So as you can see, the outer lips are on the outside, and these little flaps that are kind of like opened, they're kind of spread open, those are your inner lips. And the correct term for these are the labia majora, and that's the outer ones, the bigger ones. That's why it says majora, major. And then labia minora, the smaller set of lips, which are on the inside. Now here's your vaginal opening. So if you look at it in comparison to your pee hole, it is much larger. And the skin between your vaginal opening and your anus is called the perineum. Now here is your anus, or also called your butthole. Now all of the external parts that we just talked about, excluding, you know, the anus and the perineum, all of these external genitalia parts make up the vulva. So all of your external genitalia is called the vulva. And I know many of you refer to everything down here as the vagina, but it's not. Your vagina is actually on the inside. It's an interior portion of your genitalia. So this is just a vaginal opening, and I'm going to show you a picture of what your vagina actually looks like. So here is a pic of the inside, or the interior portions of your female genitalia. So if you can recall let's go back and look at this. This is your vaginal opening. So now we're going through that vaginal opening now. Think about looking on the inside. Well, your vaginal opening leads to your vagina. So number one is your vagina. So your vagina is kind of like a muscle or a little area inside your body that leads to your cervix. So number two is your cervix, and your cervix is part of the end part, if you're looking down this way, coming down, the end part of your uterus. And so you go up, you know, your cervix, and inside here, 3 is your uterus. We won't go into all of the reproductive system because we're focusing on hygiene, but I just wanted to definitely point out that your vagina is on the inside of your body, not the outside. The outside, all of this is not your vagina, it's your vulva. Exterior parts means vulva. Interior portion right here is your vagina. So that can be quite confusing, because many times you might have heard people say, do not wash your vagina. Your vagina should only be cleansed with water, and you shouldn't use soap on it or anything like that. Now, you have to think about what they're referring to. Now, if you're referring to your vagina on the inside, this portion here, if you're referring to this, no, you do not wash that. This is self-cleansing. You don't put anything inside your vagina to clean it. If we're referring to your vulva, although people use vagina interchangeably with the word vulva, yes, you can wash this area, and yes, this area must be cleansed in order to maintain a healthy and sanitary genitalia region. So you want to clean your vulva. You want to make sure you clean the outer lips, your inner lips. You want to clean up in here where your pubic hairs are. You want to clean down here in your anal region. Now that we've got that out of the way, for the rest of the video, I'm probably going to say the word vagina or vajayjay or something like that. And I'm referring to the entire part, internal, external, and everything. But if I am specifically talking about the inside, I'm going to say, the vaginal opening or inside of your vagina. But again, just wanted to give you the correct anatomy. So, okay, before we jump into period hygiene, let's first understand what we should be doing on a daily basis. So meet my homegirl, Flo. She is going to be helping us out today. So everybody, welcome Flo. Say hey, Flo. And Flo is a Tommy's girl. And look at Flo, she's rocking her Tommys. I'm going to go over there and take Flo's Tommys down so we can kind of get into this whole period hygiene thing. So the first thing you want to do is go into a bathroom or a private place where you can, feel comfortable undressing. And what you want to do is undress. As you can see, I've undressed Flo, and we're going to do what's called the Funky Finger Test or the Stinky Finger Test. And what you're going to do, you're going to figure out what your genitalia smells like. So first you're going to go at the top where the pubic area normally is, and you're going to just scratch it or rub it and then sniff it. So it's kind of like the scratch and sniff method. Sniff it, smell it, see what it smells like. And, oftentimes not, if it's at the end of the day or you went to gym or something like that, it's probably going to smell musty or musky or rank or something like that. And a lot of sweat builds up in here. And if you have a lot of pubic hair in this region, it may, trap odors and things like that. And a musty smell here, a sweaty smell, is totally different from like a different type of smell that you would have if you had a smell coming from your vagina or vulva area or your vaginal opening. So do the scratch and sniff here on the hair part, then wash your hand off, and then come over in here. Now you see where these folds of skin where your hip bone meets your genitalia or your vagina. You want to take your hand or your finger and just rub up in there, because a lot of times sweat and everything gets caught up in the creases. Anywhere your body creases, that is an area susceptible to funk. It gets real funky real quick up in here. So you take your hand and you rub in there and then you sniff it. See what it smells like. Does it smell like sweat, funky sweat, musky, musty? So we want to make sure we attack those areas when we're washing. Okay, so after that, wash your hands off again, because you got to do another test, because again, you're going to have different levels of funk all throughout your vagina. Now, the next step, you're going to make sure you go and get your mirror. Now, if you guys watched my at-home period kit, you would have seen this mirror in there. And this one's cute just for, purposes of making that at-home kit cute. But the mirror that you really want to get, is one like this with a handle on it. And these can be found at Dollar Tree for just $1. And the reason you want that, so you can grip it. You won't drop it, you won't break it, and you can maneuver it so you can look at your lady parts. And what you want to do is get down in there, get down here. And remember we did the picture of our genitalia. You want to take your two fingers like this and spread those lips open. Like, use your two fingers to open those lips. You're going to take your mirror in the other hand to hold it underneath your vagina so that you can see your lady parts, all those parts that we just talked about in the anatomy. In order to see this really good, you're going to probably need to be in a bathroom, and the bathroom counter, you're going to take one of your legs, your left leg, your right leg, we don't care which leg, and cock it up on the counter. You want to take this leg, stick it up on the counter, hold that vagina open, take this mirror, stick it up under there, and you will get to see everything inside your vagina. Now remember this picture? We're going to go back to this picture. So when your leg is cocked up on that counter, you're going to see something like this. And then when you put that mirror there, you may or may not see. It may just look just like this, or you might see, you know, a little bit of discharge coming out of here. It might be something that looks like snot or slimy. It might be white. It might be a whole host of things. So when you spread that open, you kind of take a look and see what's inside. And then what you're going to do is take your finger, don't, you know, stick it all up in you. Take it and just kind of like pat it right there and sniff. See what it smells like. Does it smell fishy? Does it just smell normal, like nothing? Does it smell, you know, notice the smell of it. So after we've done this little, you know, funky finger test, we know what our vagina smells like prior to us washing. So then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to cleanse your vagina, and then we're going to go back and do a post funky finger test to see what our vagina smells like after we've washed it. So before we can begin to talk about how to cleanse our vagina, we need to look at the tools that we will need. Now, some of these tools you will already have had in your at-home period kit if you watched that video, and some things are just going to be in your bath caddy when you get your caddy to go take a shower, or you might just leave them in the shower if you have your own bathroom or what have you. So let's get started. You're going to need some cotton rounds, just some regular cosmetic cotton rounds. You're going to need some feminine oil, and this basically all it is just organic coconut oil, and this is for your vagina. Your vagina is a skin. It's like an organ. It's skin, and it can get dry. It can get dehydrated and dry, and you know, the dryness can come from a whole host of things. It may be the soap is drying that you're using. You might need to switch the soap, or it just might be the climate, time of year. For whatever reason, if your vagina, or you know, the exterior part, the lips or anything like that feels dry, you can just rub a little bit of coconut oil on it to moisturize it. Also, this feminine oil is good for if you're just now starting to try to practice and use tampons and find it difficult to slide that tampon in you. You can put a little bit of this coconut oil on the tip of the applicator, and then that will help it glide right in. So get you a little bit of feminine oil. Then we have some feminine wipes, and this is just for when you go to the bathroom. Maybe you go to the bathroom prior to getting into the shower or what have you, and just to kind of give yourself a good wipe out while you're on your cycle. Okay, you're going to need some clit cleanser. This is clitoris cleanser, and you won't use this every day, but I'm just going to show you everything that you will need for every day and your period, and then kind of walk through when you would use it and how you would use it. Now, this clitoris cleanser is just basically vinegar. This is a mixture of white vinegar and water solution, but you know, cleanser sounded a lot better than just white vinegar solution. So we have that. Then we have our feminine water, and this is just strictly just water in a, you know, little condiment bottle, and you may or may not need this depending on what your situation is at home. If you have both a shower head, like a shower, and a tub, you might not need this, but if you do not have a shower or a tub in your home and have to wash at the sink, this may be perfect for you. You're going to need some feminine swabs, and this is just basically Q-tips or cotton swabs. You're going to need a towel. You'll need some pads or some tampons, depending on which one you use. You're going to need some washcloths, and again, you don't have to have a white washcloth. Actually, what I prefer using instead of a pure white washcloth while I'm on my cycle, a tan washcloth. This works a lot better because, you know, you may get some blood, you know, on your washcloth. Sometimes you can wash it out, but sometimes the, you know, white washcloths gets dingy a little quicker. And so since tan is already dingy, it kind of hides it a little bit more and it can last longer. And, you know, just get you a few of these, you know, tan colored, you know, washcloths, and these will be your period washcloths. So, you know, when you're on that time of month, that time of the cycle, you can pull these out. You know, you wash them, put them away until it's time for your cycle. But yeah, these are like 47 cents from Walmart. You're going to need a mirror. And again, you're not going to need a mirror every single time you go to the bathroom. It's just when you're maybe initially starting out to, you know, do this initial cleansing. You may need it when you're trying to put on a tampon. For whatever reason, you may need to use this when you're trying to look at your lady part. parts, but again, you don't need this all the time. It's in the caddy just to look cute. What I truly recommend are the ones that have the handle on it, so you can maneuver it, you can push it up, down, and you know, get a good view. So get this kind, and again, you can pick this one up from the Dollar Tree. So these are just $1. If you remember from my at-home period kit, a pair of scissors just to keep it trimmed and maintained down there to knock out that odor or keep your odor at bay. And again, one of the updates that I've done to the at-home period kit, you can either use the scissors or you can get a personal trimmer. And I would suggest get a trimmer that have different that has different levels of, you know, guards. So then, you know, if you want a close shave, you know, high shave, no, you know, no hair. And you know, I have the guard on here because again, the girls don't shave their vaginas bald. They trim it and keep it maintained. And this is a lot safer than the scissors. I found that the scissors could be a little bit dangerous. So if you're down there trying to snip, you could snip yourself. This right here prevents all of that. So I'm a fan of the trimmers for the girls now. You're going to need some Vagisil, you know, just powder. This is my holy grail. This is great stuff, guys. And again, if you don't want to use this, in a future video, I will show you how to do a DIY vaginal powder. You're going to need a feminine wash or cleansing wash. Again, I use the Summer's Eve. I also use the Vagisil. Depends on what's on sale at the time. So again, in a future video, I will show you how to do a DIY, you know, safe cleanser. In addition, if you don't want to make the DIY one or use that Summer's Eve, something like a Johnson's Baby head to toe wash would also be good. The point is you want something very gentle for that sensitive area down there. So pick out something sensitive. What you don't want is something like this, like Irish Spring, something that has a bunch of deodorants in it, a bunch of dyes, harsh chemicals. This is way too harsh for your vaginal area. It will irritate you if you don't rinse it all out. It will burn like heck if you try to pee. So do not put anything like a harsh soap with a lot of perfumes and dyes, and even some of the stuff you get out of like Bath and Body Works that have so many different smells on it. Save that for other parts of your body, but do not put that on your vagina. Another thing that I want to say is don't use these little bath poofs and puffs on your vagina. This is okay to wash your body with if you prefer to use this instead of a washcloth, but this is not good for the vagina because it's a little bit too, you know, harsh, and it could be rough on your vagina. Save this for the rest of your body. And then also, not only that it can be a little too rough on your vagina, if you try to use this while you're on your period, it is going to be a beast to clean out. You see all these little holes and things like that. When you're on your period, again, remember, you're shedding your uterus lining. So little bits and pieces of like old flesh and stuff will get caught all up in this little spongy thing, and it'll be almost next to impossible to wash out. So if you choose to try to use this for your vaginal area, please, please, please don't use it on your period. I just recommend don't use it down there altogether. You also want to keep a roll of tissue nearby. This is only when you're on your cycle, and I'll teach you a little hack as to why you need to keep the toilet paper in arm's reach of the shower. And then finally, you're going to need a pair of underwear, preferably a pair of Tommies. And if you guys that are new to my channel and do not know what Tommies are time of month panties. These are leak-proof period panties that I've created, and I have a video on how they work. Then you just, you know, have your panties or whatever type that you have so that you can get dressed once you get out of the shower. And the next item you're going to need is a nail file. And you want to make sure that your nails are filed and smooth before you go messing around and digging around in your vagina, because you can cut your vagina. And let me tell you something. A cut vagina is no joke. So make sure that your nails are, you know, smooth. Also get a nail clipper if you need to clip any hang nails or anything like that. Just make sure that your nails are nice and smooth. And these are some cute little nail files that I picked up that I'm going to use as some stocking stuff. I think they're just so adorable. So they have this on the front and then the back side. And as a side note, leave a comment if you want me to go over a nail care routine video, because I think it's important for young girls to maintain their hands. We don't want bit up nails. Just unsightly nails are unattractive, and it also speaks volumes about the rest of your hygiene procedure. So that's a whole different video. So now on to the basic cleansing of our vagina, and I have two things here that's going to help me out, so I won't have to keep showing our picture of our anatomy, and I don't think you guys want to see me kind of touching all over that. So we're going to use this wallet. This wallet is going to be our vagina, and I'm going to show you how this looks like a vagina in a minute. And this little orange here, this is going to be our anus, because you know that little hole right there looks like a butthole. So we're going to use this wallet in this orange to help us cleanse our vaginas. I want to talk about the trimmer or the scissors. We're going to assume that you already have a close trim of what have you before you go into the bathroom and start your everyday wash. If not, this would be part of your routine, but it wouldn't be an everyday routine. That you want to make sure that your hair is trimmed down, it doesn't have to be shaved off, is because it will help with the odor. And I'm going to show this really quickly. You also want to make sure the hairs, if you have hairs that grow on the outside of your larger lips, your outer lips, the labia majora, you don't want that to be long enough to touch, like when your vagina is closed, that these hairs can touch over or lap over to the other hair. Because what's going to happen is when you're on your period and you have your pad on, that gets dry and sticky and gooey and stuff like that. When you go to change your pad and you pull that off, you're pulling those hairs. And then also when you go to try to urinate or anything like that, it's kind of meshed together and stuck and glued, and that's just not cute. That's just nasty. So make sure you keep that trimmed down low so it can prevent any hardships in the future. So you're stepping into the shower. What you want to do is grab your feminine wash and your washcloth. You don't have to use a washcloth if you don't want to. Don't use that body proof, but use a washcloth, or you can use your hand. That's why you want to make sure your fingers and nails are nice and smooth, because again, this is very gentle on your vagina if you use your hands. Some of you, especially the younger crowd, is probably going to say, ew, I don't want to touch my vagina. That's your body. Get used to, your body. That's what God gave you. Again, if you're young and squeamish, use your washcloth. If not, you can use your hand. So here's our vagina. And so what are we going to do to wash it? We're going to open it up. So we're going to open up that vagina, and again, these are our labia majora. So these are our outer lips. This is our labia minora, our inner lips. And this is all of that fluff and flesh in between. Up here is going to be our little clitoris. And so what we're going to do is take and then we'll just act like up here is like where the hairy part is, the pubic hair. So we're going to take our washcloth, we're going to soap up our rag and, wet our rag. And then when you step into the shower, you're going to get your vagina wet. And then you're going to take your rag, and first you're going to, wash, the area up at the top, really good where the hair is up there really well. And then right at the base of your stomach, where your stomach meets your vagina. And it is especially important if you kind of have like a flap or a belly that hangs over creases. Again, I told you creases cause funk, so make sure you scrub up underneath your stomach and get those creases, that belly flap. And then you want to go ahead and then just wash on the inside, get all of that flesh here, wash on the inside, then wash in between the inner lip. And then you also, again, remember these are our outer lips. So over here would be our thighs. Remember when we did the Stinky Finger Test, you want to make sure you get in between those creases. So you might need to pull and separate and wash in between those areas right there. Get that really good, because funk accumulates there. Now I had to come back to our illustration. So after we've washed all up here and all in the creases, what we don't want to do is when we get down to this area here, the vaginal opening, don't wash or stick your finger or try to take your washcloth and stick your washcloth up up inside you. You don't need to cleanse inside your vagina. You want to just take the washcloth and kind of go over it and around it, right on the edge of it, and that's it. Then you also want to make sure that you wash the little skin between your anus and your vagina. And here's our butt. And we want to make sure we wash our butt cheeks and, spread that butt open. Spread those cheeks open. Wash inside the cheeks of your butt. Get that really good. And again, with the anus, you don't need to dig all down in the hole. Don't try to stick your finger in it. Just gently wash around the anus, right on the edge and the cusp of your anus. That should be good enough. That'll wash everything out. Now, after you do all of that, you're all lathered up, it's time to rinse. So you want to stand backwards facing to the, shower head, and then kind of bend over and spread your butt cheeks a little bit, and then let the water hit down, from your backside to this side. It'll trickle down and it'll rinse everything out. Just kind of use your hand or your washcloth to kind of, help maneuver the water, and it'll just rinse it out really, really good. So for those of you that do not have a shower and you're washing at the sink, your rinse routine is going to be a little bit different. So what you're going to do is rinse out your rag really, really good, and then kind of use the rinsed out rag to wipe off all that excess soap and everything as best you can. And after you've wiped it off as best you can, go over to the toilet, squat over the toilet or sit down on the toilet, and again, use that method that I told you to kind of open up those lips. With this hand, I'm trying to do it with this camera the wrong way, but you're going to open it up, open up that vagina, and you're going to take your feminine water. Let me get that open. And what you're going to do is just sit on the toilet and squeeze this up and down. This will get it all rinsed out. You won't have any residue. There won't be any burning or anything like that. So you just use your feminine water to do a feminine rinse or wash if you do not have a shower head. So that's what this is for. If you have a shower, you really don't need this. Or if you have a shower but you didn't use it that day, you just washed at the sink, this will help you rinse your vagina out really, really well. So now that your vagina is nice and rinsed out, you're going to step out of the shower. And the next step is to get your towel, and you want to make sure that you pat dry, pat your vagina dry. You don't want to be harsh or anything like that. So you want to make sure you dry inside, your outer lips, the top. And what you want to make special attention to, special concern to, again, remember the portion where I shared over here, these creases. You want to make sure you pull that, skin back and dry in between those creases. I can't stress how important enough that you get these creases dry. And up here, if you have that belly flap or crease here because your stomach is big, dry all up in that area. Make sure that it's nice and dry. So after it's nice and dry, you want to come back with your powder. You want to get your, Vagisil powder or the DIY one that I'll show you. It's a natural one. And you're going to take that powder. You're going to empty some in your hand. And you're going to kind of dump it, shake it in there, and you're going to pour it in those creases. And you're going to line that, those creases with that powder. That's going to keep that odor at bay. Then you're going to pour a little bit more and put it up here where the, the hair is, because hair, again, traps odor. This will knock that odor right out. It will keep you fresh. It's going to knock it out. Then also, if your butt cheeks sweat, if you have a sweaty behind, you want to take a little bit of that again, and then down in here you want to just dump some of that powder. Get that behind is taken care of. Your butt is smelling good. You are good to go. That is your everyday routine. So now we're going to talk about what additional steps you need to take when you're on your period. So these are steps that you would take in addition to your everyday routine. Remember that clit cleanser that I talked about earlier, the vinegar and water solution? Well, this is where it comes in. Usually, and also, again, if this is the first time you're really cleaning out your vagina, because I know some girls, when they say just watch the outer part of your vagina, you see how when we open it up, you have all that inside part, and you may not have known that your vagina is actually inside, and you're thinking this is the inside of your vagina. So there are some girls that, here's your vagina's closed. So those are those lips that are closed, those two lips. They just wash right here. They've never opened their cooties up. Their cooties have been closed and stale for years. So if this is the case for you, if you've had a stale vagina for years and you've just now opened it up, you're going to need a little bit more cleansing. You're going to do this clit cleanse also. And you want to do this clit cleanse when you're finishing your period, each month, or if you're sexually active after you had sex or anything like that. So you're going to take this vinegar and water solution. You're going to take a cotton swab, and you're going to pick that out, and you're going to take the top off, and you're going to saturate the tip. So you're going to spray the tip of this cotton swab, and what you're going to do is go there, open up. If you need to get your mirror, find out where your clit is, pull that foreskin back, and you may see gook, secretions, some white junk, just bacteria, all kind of mess up in there. So you're going to take your little Q-tip and you're going to just kind of rub that. And the vinegar is great because vinegar has the right pH level. It's not going to mess you up. It's really good. It'll, give you, odor free. Vinegar really knocks odor out as well. So you're going to take your time and really, wipe that out really, really well. And again, if you're sexually active, semen can get up here, secretions, and you might have been washing everything else and wonder, I'm still not that fresh. Get that clit. The next thing you want to do when you're on your period is when you first wake up in the morning and you go to the bathroom to take your shower or to wash, again, you're going to have dried up blood all throughout your vagina. And then in addition to your vagina, it's going to go all the way up your backside, like to your anus and everything. So when you step into the shower, again, step in backwards where your body is facing away from the shower head. Kind of bend over a little bit, spread those butt cheeks. I know this is a vagina, but act like this is your butt right now. Spread that, lean over a little bit, and let that water just flow down on you. And then just kind of, you can, if you want, just wiggle your hand, maneuver it, just to get all of that overnight gook out of your system before you go to wash, because that's what's going to keep your washcloth and everything a lot cleaner. Because once you rinse all of that old dried blood away, and your vaginal opening, let's assume that little vaginal opening is down here, that's where all of the menstrual flow comes out. And again, if we wash that all away, we won't have a problem when we're trying to wash our vagina and wash our behind while we're on our period. If you've noticed, whenever you get in a shower and you try to go ahead and wash before you rinse everything out and see blood all over your washcloth, that's the reason. So go ahead and do a pre-rinse of all the blood before you go and try to wash your vagina. Now the next step, remember I told you you're going to need a roll of toilet paper close by? Well, have this toilet paper near you in arm's reach when you get out of the shower, because what happens is when you get out of the shower, you don't want to start dripping all over the place and mess up the floor or anything like that. So what you do prior to stepping out of the shower while you're on your period, just rip off a piece of tissue. This is going to act like a little temporary panty liner or temporary pad. Ball it up, and you see, the area, this is where the vaginal opening, this is where you bleed from. Take that and stuff it. Stick it right there. Your lips will close up and it will hold it there. So now this is held there and you can go about finishing your cleaning routine. So this is when you step out of the shower, you plug it up prior to stepping out of the shower. Then you go back with your normal routine, get your towel. Now you can go ahead and dry out those corners, dry this area, dry everything up really well. Again, this is all plugged up so you're not going to leak or bleed on anything. And so after you do that, and this will also prevent you from getting blood on your towel. What you don't want to do not take your towel and wipe your vagina with it. You're going to have a bloody towel. This prevents the blood. Always use tissue to plug it up, let the blood collect there, dry your whole body. And now you're not rushing as you get out of the shower because you have this temporary solution there. So as that's plugged up, you're drying off, and then you're going to go ahead and add on your powder and stuff like we did before. And then once you finish with that, you want to go ahead and grab your panties. And so you're going to put your panties on, and again, these are the Tommies, the period panties that I created for you guys. And this is a leak proof period panty, and this is great for the nighttime. It has a pouch here in the front so that you can take our specially custom design made heating pad. So if you're having cramps or anything like that, you would go ahead and open this up and shake it up and stick that down in here so it can provide you with relief. This is if you're going to bed at night, or even if you're going to school, you want to put this in so you can have portable hot, a hot wrap for you to help with those cramps. So you'll put that in there. Or if you want, if you're going to school or anything like that, you can stuff or hide a few pads in there so you don't have to worry about sneaking a pad to the bathroom or anything like that. If you don't have pockets, this is the perfect little solution for that. If you're just going to bed at night, If you have cramps, put your heating pad on. Now, again, I'll show you the inside of the tummies. These, wherever you see the gray, that's the leak-proof lining. This is made out of cotton. Again, you want to make sure when you get a pair of panties, you wear cotton. Cotton is a breathable material. So this is nice and soft. This is all cotton in here. And in between these two, the cotton on this side, the cotton here, is a leak-proof barrier. So wherever there's gray, you will know that that is leak proof. So that's great for the nighttime because you have full front coverage. If you're laying on your belly, if you're a front bleeder, all this you won't bleed through. If you are laying on your back, you see all the way up, you won't leak through. So this is great. You don't wear these by themselves. You wear them in conjunction with your pad. So you're going to just take your pad, open it up, pop your pad on. You're going to put it in the regular part like, you know, a normal pad. Stick it there and you're good to go. You go to sleep. If you have to study that night, you can just lay on your stomach and be worry-free. If you want to lay on your back, you can lay on your back and be worry-free. These are perfect. So you just put on your panties, put on your pad, put on your comfy, you know, pajamas, or put on your clothes to go to school, and you are all set. Again, I will leave the link at the end of the video to my website as to where you can buy these Tommies and learn a lot more about them. And I will also leave the video where I show you how these actually work. I tested them out with, you know, fake blood and, you know, showed you how they actually absorbed and there's no leakage. So here is what a Tommy's box looks like. It's a beautiful packaged box that says Tommy's, and again, Tommy stands for time of month plus panties. We say you flow girl because you know that's our slogan. And it says Tommy's by Veri, Keri. And then on the inside, what you would get is 3 pair of panties and 3 of the heat warmers that last up to 8 hours per day. And then this box is very sturdy. You can actually use the box, you know, for other storage. You know, you can use it for a to-go period kit or things like that, and it's just wonderful. So if you're interested, just go over to the website Tommy's Online. I'll leave that at the end of the video, and you can click on the link in the description box, or you can actually click the link that is right at the end of the video that has a link, external link to the website. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative, and then I will also be coming back with another video that's period maintenance, not the hygiene part where you're washing your vagina, but things that you should do while on your period, you know, in terms of keeping things clean, the plates clean, your sheets, and things like that, staining things, the toilet, all those kinds of things. I will make a video for that because this video will be too long to cover that. And until next time, I hope you guys have a happy holiday. Please check out the website. This would make the perfect gift for any, you know, teen or any adult for that matter during the holidays, because I think all women need this product. It's an awesome product, and I absolutely love the feedback that I have been getting from those of you who have already tried the product. I do have some repeat customers now, and thank you so much for those of you that came back and bought more of the product. And right now we have a special going on with our Tommies until the end of the year, till December 31st, where you get free shipping. So there is no shipping cost if you put in the code TOMCAT16. And you don't know how much it warms my heart to see a product that I envisioned come to life, and for it to actually work and help so many females and help so many of those young girls that, you know, talked to me and said, hey Keri, we need this and we need that, when we did all of our other period videos. And until next time, I'm going to keep calm and carry on. Bye guys.